In this video, we are going to go over how you can find and hire the right Instagram influencer for your local business in 2019. The right Instagram influencer will help bring new patients through your door. So watch this video if you want to find out how you can create a profitable relationship with someone in your city. My name is Meredith, and this is the Meredith Callagher Show, where we talk about marketing plan for doctors. I believe that hope is not a strategy. Everybody has to put a plan in place to get more patients through the door. Now let's talk about influencer marketing. In this video, we are going to review what exactly is influencer marketing, why you would hire an influencer on Instagram, how you find the right influencer for your business, what are the qualities that you look for in an influencer, and then how exactly would you work with an influencer. Before we get into the who, why, and how of working with an influencer, let's start with the what. What is influencer marketing? Influencer marketing is a form of collaboration. A business collaborates with an influential person to promote something. It could be a product, a service, or a campaign. Celebrity endorsements were the original form of influencer marketing. But in today's marketing world, social influencers with niche market can be even more valuable to businesses. These people have dedicated and engaged audiences on social media. They are simply known as social media influencers. So why in the world would you work with an influencer? Well, there are so many benefits. Let's go over them. With an influencer partnership, your aim could be to increase more followers on your Instagram account. It could be to kick off a marketing campaign of a new product or service. It could be to drive traffic or invitations to an event that you're hosting at your business. In Miami, I've seen so many businesses profit from very cool relationships with Miami influencers. I know that you're seeing the same thing in your city. Look, here is Carla Nunez, a gorgeous, super sweet Miami influencer that did a great campaign with a local skincare and dermatology clinic and line of products. And here is Magda Lopez. Her influencer brand is called Revete, and she's smiling pretty, advertising for a local dentist. I want to talk to you about how you're going to find an influencer that will work for your business. Guys, finding a great influencer for your local business is not going to be hard, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in-app. But I just want to give you all the information, and there are websites out there that can help match you with an influencer. Because you, doctors, medical practice, private practice owners, are local businesses, I really don't think these national matchmaking websites are what you need. I want you to know they're there. So the name that my favorite Instagram planning app, Later recommends these 3 matchmaking apps, and they are 4Card, that's FOHR, Social Blade, and People Map. So if you just strike out with finding them organically, which I'm about to tell you how to do, don't give up on influencer marketing and go check out those 3 websites. Let me tell you the best way to find an influencer, and it's to go to their place of business, go where they work, Instagram. So you probably have a patient that's an influencer. Have you seen her? She's probably carrying that camera when she comes into your office and taking photos, documenting her story. Start with her. Now I'm going to teach you in a little bit the great qualities that you look for in an influencer, but basically if her demographics, if her audience matches your ideal customer avatar, your ideal patient, then that influencer that's your patient is the perfect person to start a relationship with online. If you don't have a patient that's an influencer, have you seen one? Have you seen the perfect influencer talking to your target audience? Are you a pediatric dentist? Is your ICA a mom of a newborn because you want to get those long-term relationships, maybe like a 2 to 3-year-old? Well, then look for those mommy bloggers, right? There are influencers that talk directly to new moms or moms of toddlers. The one that is in your city is perfect to form an influencer relationship with. If you haven't seen an influencer around and you're not sure who to go to, ask your followers. Create a poll. Create a post that you're looking for a great influencer in your city. Your followers are going to tell you who they love. You can even ask your patients as they walk in the door, hey, who do you like to follow on Instagram? Is there somebody great in our city that gives you all the latest and greatest about what's going on in your city? That's who you want to create an influencer relationship with. So what are the qualities that you would look for in a great influencer? She must be relevant to your customers. If you can find an influencer that is also your ICA, your ideal customer, then you're golden. She will appeal to your followers and to the customers that you're trying to create. Your influencer must appear to be authentic. Use your gut on this, you guys. Instagram is very social. Usually, if you feel like someone is acting fake or not representing a brand that she believes in, you're probably right. You can sniff out authenticity on Instagram, but there are a few indicators to know if your influencer is authentic or not. The first one is she discerning? When you interview this influencer to work with you, does she ask you questions about your business? Does she want to know your pricing and what value your patients get from working with you, and how many times do the patient need to visit you to make a procedure happen, and why do patients come to you for this procedure? If the influencer wants to get down to the nitty-gritty and really understand you, then you can feel pretty good that she's going to come across authentic to her followers. And you can check her engagement ratio, although the more followers someone gets, the harder it is to make their numbers mean something. But the engagement ratio on Instagram is calculated likes plus comments divided by followers. 5% engagement is considered amazing. 3% is fine. But you guys, when people start getting 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers, if they have more than 1%, it is outstanding. So if you do see an influencer with above 1% engagement, that's awesome. But if they have less than 1%, don't worry. Use your gut. See what kind of questions they ask you. You can figure this out. And then finally, your influencer must be active. This you can see easy peasy. Is she posting every day, not only to her feed, but on Instagram stories? Is she responding to the comments that she's getting on her posts? That's super important because you want her to respond to her followers if they ask her questions about you. I know you are going to be able to find the perfect influencer for your office. But now let's talk about price and what value she's going to give you. Do you know that the average cost per post that a micro-influencer charges is $300? That's right. It sounds kind of expensive, doesn't it? Well, really, it is for one post, because one post isn't going to really bring you value. What I'd like to suggest and what will really work is to enter in a long-term agreement with an influencer, 6 months or a year. I'd like her to be posting for you probably once a week, or every week for 6 months, and a post on Instagram stories, and maybe an IGTV video, and maybe some product posts. I mean, product posts might not make sense in your office, but I would ask her for some extra photos of either her visiting your office, or maybe her getting her teeth cleaned if you're a dentist, or if you do have products for her to take home, if you are a dentist, like a whitening tray, or if you're a physical therapist and you have a certain stretch, ask her for 5 additional product posts in this monthly contract that you're going to sign, all right? But I'd like to back up a little and say that I think it'd be smart, once you found the Instagram influencer that you want to work with, then you tell her that you're interested in signing a 6-month contract, maybe more, and you'd like to know what she thinks. How many posts a month does she need to post on her feed so her followers will see that relationship that she's formed with your practice and get them into your practice? Once she makes her suggestion, then you start your contract negotiations. Now, I'm not trying to get you a super good deal here, meaning I want you to pay this influencer for the value that she's giving you, right? But a long-term contract is in her favor, meaning she'll be glad that somebody's not hiring her for just one post. So I suggest to maybe ask for 15 photos a month, maybe 5 posts on the feed, 5 on the story, 5 product posts. Instead of 300 times 15, offer her $3,000 a month for those 15 posts. You following me? Or if she said she charges $100 a post, offer her $1,000 a month for those 15 photos for 6 months. You guys, the benefit that you will get from the long-term relationship is exponential. Now let's talk about bartering. I was very leery to tell you about bartering because this is the influencer's job, you have to remember, right? She's got to get paid and put food on her table just like the rest of us, correct? She can't do that with Botox injections. But you probably have some great services that she wants. I'd recommend, if you'd like to barter, do at least half and half cash, half trade for services. Remember, don't trade her on things that you are asking her to advertise on. Meaning, if she needs Botox to fulfill the contract you have with her, that is not a payment, right? That's like the time my husband tried to give me this computer for Christmas. Dude, I need a computer for my job. That's not my holiday present, you know? So if you are going to barter with this influencer, I want you to offer her services above and beyond what she needs to fulfill her marketing for you. You got me? Great. Now let's wrap this up by talking about the ways that you can measure the results of this influencer. My two favorite ways are tracking the link. If she's sharing a link to your office, then you should be able to see how many people she sent through that link. The best way to see this is on Linktree. Most influencers or big Instagram accounts are using Linktree to create multiple links in the bio of their Instagram account. If she's doing that, all you have to do is ask to see her Linktree account, see how many clicks that link got. If not, you can also do this in Google Analytics, which this is not going to be a video on Google Analytics how to, but you certainly could set up a Google Analytic tag in a link so you can see how many times somebody that comes from her comes to your website. Finally, you could also give her a code that she could tell all of her followers to use when they make an appointment with you. You could say, use her name. One of my influencers, I posted her photo earlier, goes by Revete. So we could say, anybody that heard about Bliss Dental through Revete, mention Revete 10 and they'll get priority scheduling or something. You don't have to give away too much, or they'll get 10% off on teeth whitening. You'll know that your influencer relationship is working for you. I sure hope that this YouTube video was helpful. If it was, please hit subscribe and like, because so more people will see my YouTube show. And I hope to see you here next week on the Meredith Callaher Show, where we share marketing tips for busy doctors. Thanks. Bye.